Hi, my name is Martin Phan. I'm a field CTO here at CloudCasa, and in this video we'll be doing a demo on how to integrate CloudCasa into Spectro Cloud Palette to help with managing your backup, disaster recovery, and migration workflows. So to set the scenario, perhaps many of you are using Spectro Cloud to manage and deploy your Kubernetes clusters, and through Spectro Cloud Packs, you're going to be able to extend the functionality of Palette for those additional Kubernetes applications. CloudCasa has added its own pack into the Spectro Cloud Community Registry to make deploying your Spectro Cloud cluster with CloudCasa that much easier. So let me give you an overview of the environment that I'll be working with. I'm currently logged into my Spectro Cloud Palette console where I have some clusters that I'm managing within AKS. So here you can see that I've imported in some clusters, and these are the same corresponding clusters within my AKS environment. And now I'd like to manage CloudCasa within this cluster as well. So I can do so by deploying a Spectro Cloud Pack, which are components specifically tailored to extend Kubernetes functionality and visibility into applications that are then managed by Spectro Cloud. So to add a pack, I'll go into profiles here, and then I can add a cluster profile, give my profile name, and then specify the type of profile that I want to create here. If I were creating a new cluster from scratch and I want to install the CloudCasa agent automatically, I can just simply add that as a pack to that profile. In my case, since I'll be adding it on after the fact, I'll select add-on here and select next and add a new pack where we have our CloudCasa community pack within the Palette Community Registry. So I'll do a search for CloudCasa here, and you can see our pack and the description within the README. Now, one thing that I will need for each cluster that I add into CloudCasa and into Palette is a unique cluster ID string. So I can get this ID string by just simply registering a cluster within CloudCasa, but this is what I'll need in order to provision it within Palette as well. So because it is a pack that I'll be using potentially for multiple clusters, I'll make that cluster ID into a variable. And to do so, I can just click on the pack details under values here and create a new variable for that cluster ID. So every time I deploy this pack, it's going to request a cluster ID from me, and I can just simply input that cluster ID into the package deployment. So at this point, I can copy that environment variable and go back into the chart description here and paste that variable into that chart and confirm and create. So at this point, my profile has a single pack, which is deploying the CloudCasa agent, which requires the cluster ID string, and everything looks good. So I'll finish the configuration to create my Spectro Cloud profile. At this point, with the profile created, I can go back into the clusters that I'm managing and now apply this profile to an existing cluster. So here I have a cluster called Spectro Cloud Pack, and what I want to do is go into the profile menu of this, and you can see here that there are no profiles attached to this cluster, so I'll attach the profile that I just created to that cluster and click Review and Save and review changes in editor. And now at this point, it's requesting that CloudCasa cluster ID, which I can go into my CloudCasa dashboard to pick up. So here I've already added my cluster into CloudCasa. It's currently in that discovered state. And from here, I can retrieve the cluster ID to add it to my Spectro Cloud Pack. Now you'll see that the agent has gone into a running state, and if I check on the Kubernetes cluster here, from an AKS perspective, I can open up a console window. I can see that a CloudCasa-IO namespace has been created and the agent has been deployed within this namespace. I can also see that the cluster has been added into the clusters overview section where it is now listed as active. So now that everything's being managed by Spectro Cloud Palette, what I can do is if I no longer need that agent profile installed onto that cluster, I can just simply go back to the profiles menu, see which clusters have been applied to that profile, and just simply drill down into that cluster profile and remove the profile. So once the profile has been deleted, I can check to make sure that the CloudCasa agent no longer exists. And you can see that there are no more CloudCasa agent resources running within that namespace. With the CloudCasa Pack addition to Spectro Cloud, users can effectively manage CloudCasa application deployments in Palette to simplify their backup, disaster recovery, and migration policies for Kubernetes. So if you have any questions or are looking for additional ways in which you can automate data protection, replication, and migration of your Kubernetes environment, please visit our website at cloudcasa.io. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.